Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my video tutorial for the CellRank package. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to perform velocity pseudotime analysis on single CellRNA sequencing data, then use the CellRank package to compute the transition matrix for pseudotime. So first we need to load the packages for today's analysis. And we want to get rid of all the warnings. In previous video tutorial, we performed the velocity analysis on the pancreas single RNA sequencing data, and we saved it as the processed pancreas H5AD object. So we can read this object back for today's analysis. So you can see we performed the velocity analysis. We have the velocity map. We also saved the transition matrix data for velocity analysis. So in this video tutorial, we want to perform pseudotime analysis. You can see in this dataset, we already have the plant pseudotime data. I'm not going to show you how to perform the plant pseudotime analysis. I have a video for plant package. You can watch that video. Then you can learn how to perform plant pseudotime analysis. So in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to perform pseudo analysis using the scVino package and also the scRNA diffusion pseudo method. After that, we can construct the transition matrix using CellRank package. So we performed the RNA velocity analysis for this dataset already. In previous video, we didn't perform the pseudotime analysis. So here we can run the pseudotime analysis. Because for the RNA velocity, we use the dynamical model. For the data from dynamical model, we can run the scVino latent time function in order to perform pseudotime analysis. So let's run the latent time for the pseudo analysis using the scVino package. Okay, you can see it finished the analysis. If you look at the observations, now we have the velocity pseudo time, and also we have the latent time. So we can embed the pseudo time into the UMAP following the latent time analysis. So we can count the pseudo time as velocity pseudo time. At the same time, we can compare it with the plant pseudo time. We have this information in the data already. So let's embed the pseudo time. You can see the first one is the velocity pseudotime analyzed by scVino package, and on the right hand side is the plant pseudotime analyzed by the plant package. Basically, you can see the pseudotime looks very similar from both analyses. You can see the progenitor cells in black color. Then they gradually turn to yellow color, generate the endocrine cell types, beta cells, alpha cells, and epsilon cells. So we perform the pseudo-time analysis using the scVino package. Next, we can perform the pseudo-time using scRNA diffusion pseudo-time method. To compute the diffusion pseudotime, first we need to run the diffusion map for the A data. So after that, we need to manually supply a root cell for this analysis. So we can use the code here to identify the root cell. If we run this code, you can see the root cell is number 671. We can check the root cell position using the scatter plot function. And also we can add the root cell information into the A data. Let's run. You can see the root cell is here. It is in the beginning of the NGN3 no expression progenitor cell. So the root cell is correct. Then we can perform the diffusion pseudotime analysis. After the analysis, we can have a look at the A data. Let's run. You can see it is very quick. Now, if you look at the observations, you can see in the A data, we added the diffusion pseudotime. So now in the A data, we have the plantar pseudotime, velocity pseudotime, and the diffusion pseudotime. Again, we can embed all three pseudotime on the UMAP cell clusters. We can compare which one is the best method to analyze the pseudotime. Let's run. You can see we generated three figures here. The first one is the plantar pseudotime. The second one is velocity pseudotime. The third one is diffusion pseudotime. They are analyzed by three different packages, but you can see for the pseudotime UMAP, they are looks the same. So we can use any pseudotime to construct a transition matrix. So I showed you here we have three pseudotime. You don't have to perform all three analyses. You can just choose one to perform the pseudotime analysis for your data, but it is good to compare them. Then you can see which one is the best pseudotime analysis for your dataset. So now we can compute the transition matrix, use the CellRank package. So I'm going to use the velocity pseudotime analyzed by the scVeno package. So we can set the pseudotime kernel, and the time k we set as velocity pseudotime. Then we can compute the transition matrix. Let's run the code for computer transition matrix. So you can see it is done. And we have the transition matrix for 2,531 cells in this dataset. So the purpose for pseudotime analysis is to construct the transition matrix using the CellRank package. Then we can perform the downstream analysis. We can again realize the transition matrix on the UMAP embedding, but you will realize this is not the best graph for the analysis. We can run it first. You can see we generated the trajectories for the pseudotime according to the transition matrix data for the pseudotime. You still can see the cells started from the NGN3 no expression progenitors to generate the beta cells, alpha cells, delta cells. But this trajectory map looks different as the RNA velocity trajectory UMAP. Because here is the no dimension projection. So according to the online tutorial, we shouldn't trust this projection too much. The purpose for this analysis is to generate a transition matrix for the pseudotime. Then we can use the estimators to perform more powerful analysis to assess the dynamics in high-dimensional data. So I showed you can use 3 different methods to perform pseudotime analysis. And after the pseudotime analysis, we created the transition matrix data using the CellRank package. So now we can write the transition matrix into the A data. Let's run. And we can have a look at the A data again. You can see we have all the analysis in the observations. We have the UMAP for the transition matrix data. So now we can save our analysis as the process pancreas 2 H580 data. Let's save it. Okay, that's today's analysis to show you how to perform pseudotime analysis for your dataset. Then create the pseudotime transition matrix data. In next video tutorial, we can use the data to compute initial and terminal states for the cell types. So I hope to see you in my next video tutorial.